Okay, so this is part 3 of our video. We're taking a look beginning at question number 20. So flip over to question number 20. It says if we have two triangles such that AB over DE is equal to BC over EF, that means that they're in proportion. So if we sketch our triangles, ABC, so ABC and DEF, the order matters, remember? DEF. And it says that AB is similar or in proportion to DE. And it says that BC, this one, is in proportion to this one. Now that doesn't mean they're congruent, it means that they're in proportion. So this is kind of adding on to what we did last chapter. So if we wanted to prove that these were similar, we would need to use the angle in between them in order to use that side angle side theorem. So that is choice A. Okay, moving on to question 21. If ABC is similar to DXY, and I'm going to draw a picture. I would encourage you to draw a picture every time because a visual cue is a good cue. And since these are in the right order, A corresponds to Z, I'm going to orient them even the same way. And so A corresponds to Z, B to X, and C to Y. So it says that A is 45 degrees. And it says that C is 35 degrees. Well, the thing about the triangle is that I know all three angles have to add to give me 180. So if I add up these two angles, 35 and 45, does that give me 80? 35 and 45? Does that give me 80? So angle B has 100 degrees left over. So angle B must be 100 degrees. Well, if these two triangles are similar, now the thing you have to remember is these are not in proportion. So the measurements are accurate, but the picture not necessarily. So because 100 degrees is an obtuse angle, that's not an obtuse angle, right? So angle X, according to this statement, has to be the same measure as angle B. So angle X is also 100 degrees. Okay, number 22. It says that these two triangles are similar, and it wants to know the length of KJ. So we need to set up a proportion. Okay, returning to this, we need a proportion, and we have two triangles. They are similar. So how long is KJ? So we need to know that KJ corresponds to QP according to the picture, KJ and QP. So KJ is this side, and QP is this side. So we don't know this length. I'm going to assign it a variable named X. Okay? What I do know is that RP, this one, RP corresponds to LJ. So I can use this proportion. Now we've been doing little to big, so it's 28 to 42. And so I'm going to do little to big again. So that's going to be X to 33. So this is my proportion according to the similar triangles. So I'm going to do cross products, and I get 42x equals 28 times 33. What is 28 times 33? 924. So 42x is 924. So now we divide both sides by 42. So 924 divided by 42, do we get that KJ is 22 units? Okay. So using our proportions. Now, question 23 is a little more challenging because you see that it says UV is 5x plus 11. And we want to know how long UV is. So we have to find x and then plug x back in. So there's a little more involved here. VW is 88 and SU is 18. So we're going to get all these on here and then see their relationship. ST is 24, and so we have 2 in each. So if we look at the statement here, we see that VU, this one, matches SU. So that's this one. So in our proportion, those two need to match. So I'm going to stick to my pattern of little to big and help me work this problem. So 88 is to 5x plus 11 as, and so ST, you see that this S is at the beginning and T is at the end. So that's this one, is going to compare to VW. So that's this one. So this side compares to this side in the similar triangle statement. And I figured that out by looking at the order of those. So again, it was little, this should be 18. Did I write 18? Can't read it now, I wrote over it. So this is 18 to 5x plus 11 equals 24 to 88. So there's our proportion. Now, if you chose to do your proportion a little differently, but you still get the same cross products, then you set up the proportion correctly. Okay? So we need to multiply 88 times 18. What's 88 times 18? And don't forget to distribute the 24 to the 11. So take just a second to work that out. 88 times 18 is 1,584. 24 times 5 is 120. 24 times 11 is 264. So this one has an X there. So now we're going to subtract 264 from both sides. So 1584 minus 264 gives me 1320. It's going to be handy to have a calculator for this test. We need to remember this. Grab your calculators as a sign. So 1320 divided by 120 is going to be 11. So did we actually find the answer, or did we find X? Okay, so we have more work to do. X 11 is not the answer. Do you think 11 is going to be a choice? Absolutely. They're going to expect you to stop there. But 11 is not the answer. We have to plug in 5 times 11 plus 11. So 5 times 11 is 55, plus 11 is 66. So this length is 66. And that's a lot more reasonable than 11, isn't it? Because we saw here that 88 was one length. So this one shouldn't really be 11, because that would mess up your three sums of the triangle. Okay? Okay, number 24.
Wait, for 23, you guys.
Did you not want to be on? Yeah, 66 is the correct answer for 24. All right, 24. Here we have two similar triangles, ABC, here, here, and here, and PQR, PQQR. How long is QR? Well, this one is a straightforward setup. It is 6 is to 18 as 4 is to x. So 6x equals, what's 18 times 4? What's 18 times 4? 72. And 6 goes into 72 8 times. This time, it was a straightforward just plug in. And there will be some simple ones on the test as well. So QR is 8. Okay, for 25. Using the theorem that corresponding parts of similar triangles are proportional, determine the missing lengths of A, B, C. So 2 lengths are missing, BC and AC. And so we want to figure out what each of those are. So given this proportional triangle, or this similar triangle, AB, this side, AB corresponds to DE. So there's my proportion. You can see these pictures aren't correct because this is 9 and this is 8, right? But it gives us an orientation to follow. So 9 is to 8 as, and so we check this one out. I'm going to label this one X and this one Y so that it helps me use algebra to get this straight. So CA in this one, CA is congruent to FD. So FD is this one. So X is to 10. So my proportion for that one is 8X equals 8X is to 90 using cross products. So now I'm going to divide both sides by 8. What is 90 divided by 8? Do you get 11.25? And do we need to do anything with that? That is AC. Okay. For BC, I'm going to call this one Y. So 9 is to 8. As Y is to 4. So 8Y is equal to 36. Using cross products, 9 times 4 is 36. And 8 times Y is 8Y. So now I'm going to divide 36 divided by 8. And that's 4.5. So Y is 4.5. So BC is 4.5. Okay, the last and most difficult page. I'm going to stop this video and make a part 4.